All right, sweet. So today I just want to quickly do some SEO for my 4x4. Just that we did a dump, ran a little few tests and saw that there's a few things we could improve. One of them being adding H1s. Second one is adding meta descriptions. So let's get cranking. What we need to do to hopefully improve SEO. The cold starts aren't a massive issue, but the first one that we want to address is the H1 tag because Google wants to see that. The other thing is the canonical URL because we've got double ups, which is not good. And then the other one is the meta name description, so we can actually highlight exactly what we're looking at. So the first one we'll address is the H1, but what you can see here quickly is if we have a look at this file here, duplicate title tags. So that basically just because we have the same title on every single page, so it does not like that. Duplicate content, duplicate meta descriptions. So errors aren't good. We don't want errors. And then what do we have? Missing H1s. And then low text to HTML ratio. I mean, that's kind of because most of our things have attributes. We don't have too much long form text. And then again, these are warnings more so than errors. So unminified JS and CSS files, which is strange coming out of Next. And pages with only one internal link. So the first thing, and I think the easiest thing to solve, is the H1s. So I'm going to open up, we're going to go to cd code/my4x4, and then we're going to open that guy up. I'm just going to double check that we have the latest branch. Great, so that's issue 63. So we can do that. I'm going to say new, it's going to be task/63. Boom, all right. On a new branch. So what we want to do here is let's get this guy running as well. So we're going to say npm run dev. It's running on 301. Pop that open. Cool. So let's check out the home page first. So this is our header, but it's rendering as an H2. Probably because of the font size that we're using. So if we look at that, that is inside of, let's just find the page. So that's the index page, that's the hero. So we go into components, we go landing, hero, index, here it is. So this is our heading here, and it's the size XL. I just want to try something. If I bump that up to an XXL, it's still an H2. So I want to just check something in Chakra as a matter of interest. Chakra heading H1. So it renders an H2 tag by default. I'm wondering why that is. I wonder if that's just a design choice there, but that's an interesting one. So what we want to do here is we just want us to turn this into an H1. So just pump that in there. As you can see here, it's now rendering as an H1 with no change here to our actual live. So if we change it to H2, nothing changes except the tag rendered here. So Google's going to crawl our HTML, so it's looking for the H1. So we just need to make sure wherever we use heading now, we are using H1. So I'm just going to do a quick search. Oh, I've got a lot. Definitely got it a lot. Cool. So we're going to work our way through, but we don't necessarily need this on every page. So let's go through. Let's go look at recently updated. Let's jump into a build. So this is our page, and this is inside of projects, and then this is the project slug, which is at the this is the edit. Yeah, it's project slug index. And then let's see. So this actually doesn't have That's inside of its main image there. So if we jump into that component, and that's just the project title. So what we'll do is we'll render this text as an H1. And let's just see if that leaves everything as is. Because that's what we want in this page. This is the main thing. So it's a 2023 Land Rover Defender. That's the heading of that page. So that's cool. Then what else do we have that's important here? So let's see. Let me pull up that numbers. Let's see what pages it's crawling so we can go through it. Maybe, oh yeah, this one, because this shows every page. So it's basically, it's just cruising through all the different listings. So now we have H1s on all of these. That's fine. These are all builds, external links. So that's cool. So the search page is where probably we can do a bit of optimization as well. So we'll go into the search page, search, index, browse projects. We're going to make that the heading. Right, so that's cool. So this is now should be an H1. Yep. Now what we want to do here is we want to be a bit smarter on how we render this. So what we want to say here is, if you've clicked on, let's say Ford, what do we have here? So let's say Toyota, and then we've got Prado. What we want to show now is browsing Toyota Prados on my 4x4. So some of the kings of SEO, if we look at this, this is what these guys do in car sales, and these guys are the kings of vehicle searches. So you can see here, so they're saying search for new and used Toyota Land Cruisers, cars for sale in New South Wales, read reviews and compare. So we want to do something similar. So what we want to say, browse for, I guess, what can we say here? So we can say detailed info and specs for vehicles matching Toyota Prado on my 4x4. And then what we want to do is we want to dynamically generate that string. I think that's going to be the best. So now, matching Toyota. So if you just choose one, that's cool. And then as you go down the string, that meta description will change. So what we're going to do here, where did we have the other one, the meta? I'll just find that again. Okay, so this is our main problem, is because we're injecting the same thing everywhere, and Google does not like that. So we need to fix that. So we're going to just grab next head. We're going to bring it into the search page. We're going to chuck in the head here. And we're going to do that just inside the mobile layout here. Cool. So we're going to say, where is our string? Grab that. And then we're going to paste this in here. Cool. I mean, we can say build info here and specs for vehicles matching there. So we're going to make a string like this, dynamic. Now what we want to do, so unfortunately what it looks like here is that we are only just getting the ID and the IDs through here. So we actually need the names of this. So let's just see, where are we pulling use browse projects? Do we have the data instantly for our meta description? That's going to be the problem. So what I'm thinking here is if we haven't loaded the data, we're not going to have it available to us. So we actually need to make sure we can fetch this data straight away. So it might need to be a server render just to get us here. So let's see, what's this use browse project? This fetches the manufacturers and it fetches the models. Okay, so what we're going to do here is, I think the easiest way to get this, do we even use that in here? No. TRPC, okay. Let us see if we have a server endpoint for manufacturers. Do we have get? So what we want to do is get manufacturer by ID. So the first thing here is let's set up a little endpoint. So we're going to say get manufacturer by ID. It's a public procedure. You don't need to be logged in. So input here. So z.object. And then inside there we're just going to have manufacturer. I mean, we can just use ID, yeah, Z number. Cool, that's good. And then the query, love it, nice one. And we're going to just say, oh dude, Copilot, you're just on fire. Find unique manufacturer where ID is input ID. Number is not assigned to a string. Okay, sorry, we're using UUIDs here. Cool. So is it that easy? So what we're going to say is const manufacturer query equals, sorry, where is this stuff quickly? So we're going to grab it from the hooks folder. We need TRPC. Grab that guy and we're going to say is equal. I just want to check the naming. Yep. So we're going to go trpc.manufacturers.get manufacturer.use query. Yes. That's it. There, you got it. Come on, buddy. There you are. And then we only want to, what do we have to do here? We have to say, 1 second. Enabled. Cool, so sometimes I get this syntax a bit wrong. That guy. And then here we want to say enabled. Man, it's on fire. Look at it. Knows what it wants. Cool. So what are you saying? Yeah, that should be fine. Let's just see what we're getting here now. So let's refresh this page. Data, so object, Toyota is our manufacturer. It looks like it has it there first render, so that's great. So now what we can do here, we can say data is going to be manufacturer from the manufacturer query, or I'm just going to make it a default this to an empty object just so we don't crash. I mean, you know what, let's just leave it like this. And then what we can say here is, you are annoying. It's gone and formatted my code with removing my dynamic interpolated string here. So what we're going to basically do is just say this. It's going to be manufacturer.title. Right. So let's grab that. Hey. Go back there. Go back there. Go back there. What are you saying? There we go. Let's see what we have in here now. So it'll be in the head. Meta name, browse for detailed build info and specs for vehicles matching Toyota Prado. So let's go, cool, that's good, all well and good. But now we want to load the model. So this is manufacturer model. Now the same thing. So if we jump into our router, manufacturer models, we're going to do the same thing here. So we're going to say get manufacturer model by ID, public procedure, yes. Input is z.object, yes. Query. Come on, bud, you can do it. Sure. Sure, here we go. Where ID is input ID. Done. Done. I do like that. I do like that a lot. So we're going to look manufacturer models, and we're going to say get manufacturer model by ID, use query, and we're going to use the model. Bang, bang. And this is going to be a manufacturer model. Now with this one, we're going to say we don't want the double space there. So I'm going to just bump this in, and we're going to say, how can we do this nicely? So we're going to say in here, if we have a manufacturer model, then we're going to do manufacturer model.title, otherwise just an empty string. And is that right? No, what we want to do, what's your problem? Did we make a little mistake here? Expected that, got that, okay. These are one of these guys and these guys. Cool. That's good. Cool, cool, cool. So this actually has to be a string again. It's a bit ugly. Because we need to add that space in there. So we're going to have a space. What does it look like? Toyota Prado. Now what we're going to do is we're going to say forward, just forward. So we're going to say browse for detailed build info and specs for vehicles matching Ford on my 4x4. And then we're going to say, yep, F-150 Raptor. What does that look like? Matching Ford F-150. So browse for modified, let's call it modified builds info and specs for vehicles matching. Why don't you just fix this for us, brother? It's just complaining because it's too long. So what does that look like? Browse for modified builds. Cool. And then what we want to do here as well, so the title, so here's going to be browse builds. Now, I think because Google doesn't want to see duplicate, we have to say browse builds. I mean, what we can do here is we can use a similar concept. Let's turn this in. How does... I'm just thinking there was a bug here that I saw a while ago. So it's just a string. And what we want to do is inject let's see what this looks like. So we now have browse Ford F-150 Raptor builds. Yeah, that is what we want. If we just go Ford, browse for modified build and matching Ford, and my 4x4, browse Ford builds. I mean, we can call it projects to just match this here. Modified builds, build info and specs, modified build info and specs for vehicles matching. Yeah, okay. That's pretty cool. The fav icon we don't care about because that's not changing in here. So that makes this page pretty dynamic. So we can say VW, Amarok. What are we looking at? Browse for modified build info matching Volkswagen Amarok. Browse Volkswagen Amarok project. I love that. That's really cool. So that's pretty good. So this one's pretty dynamic now. So if we look at our errors, what kind of errors do we have? We need the canonical, how do you pronounce that? Canonical URL. So what we'll do is canonical URL. I think that goes in your head here too. Let us check that one quickly. Canonical, where do we put that? Is an HTML element. where do you put that, champion? Does Google have canonical URLs? That'd be funny, wouldn't it? Title canonical. Where are you? Canon. Yeah. It's interesting that they don't actually show you. Did they show you? Rel canonical here. Okay. Canon. Here. So it's a link. So let's just see how to do that. Canonical URL Next.js. Let's see how this works in here. So canonical tags, we just shove it in the head. Cool. Okay, awesome. Let us see. Right. So what we want to do is we want to say all the correct links. So the reason we have this is we have two domains. You have my4x4.info and you also have www.my4x4.info. We want Google to always just index one of them. And the one that we want to index is www. Right? Now, the page that we're looking at, so somewhere I have this. So let me just see. I did store this. Here we go. Our friend over here. He's built this for us so he can see. So it's using router as path. Make sure we can look at the UTM parameters. That's fine. And we're splitting off anything after. Next, SEO. That's interesting. What does that do? How does this guy work? Interesting. Wow. That's very cool. I mean, that just wraps everything, makes it super simple. So let's install that. Next SEO. Very cool. I do like this. So let us do that. So let's go npm install next SEO. Is that literally it? Is that how you do it? Yep. Chuck you in there. Help us out. So we have external links. And we want to make sure that when we render these guys, no follow. We don't want Google to cruise through those guys. There's no point. So just can that. So that's cool. Where is our friend now? Are you installed? Wow, still going. All right. We've got our friend installed. Let's give it a spin. So let's see. Where is it? What's it look like? Default SEO. All right. Let's go. Let's go search, import default SEO. Default SEO just gets dropped straight in. So we're going to say title, I believe. Where are you? All right. So title equals this guy. We've got description equals this guy. That's it. Now, with the canonical link, I'm gonna stick him under here, even though this isn't default. Alright, so what we want to do here, chuck that guy there, don't need you, don't need the whole head tag actually, if this all works, as they say it does. Are we running? Run. Let's see what we have here. Squad, so, oh cool. So it's even added the OG title and description for us, which is pretty cool. Has it yeah, that's fine. It's got the description there, vehicles matching Volkswagen Amarok and thing. It's got the browse. If we change this to Ford, what do we got? Browse Ford projects. Boom, I love that. F-150. Awesome. Okay. That's good. So that means we have fixed that problem. So we've got, let's just see, make sure that this old mate over here is H1. That's great. Cool, so we're loading that in. This is just looks disgusting because of ESLint, but that is all working, I promise. That is all good. Great, I love that little component. That's something useful. What is this guy saying? Should be listed in the project's dependencies. Where did you go? You should be here. Next SEO. Right there, bruh. Yeah, it is there. So, whatever. You deal with that, champ. So, let's go here. So, we've done that, done that. So, let us quickly have a look here. We don't need this page anymore. Let's see what we've just done. What have we done? So, the lock file version changed, which is not the best, but anyway. Next SEO package is added. External links, we added the nofollow. Made the landing page hero an H1. The main image on the projects is an H1. Great. The search page we are now loading in the manufacturer and the manufacturer model if those IDs are set. And then we're going to inject those into here. Right, now let's just see something. What does it look like when we do this page from scratch? So if we go search, head, what does our head look like? Browse for modified build info and specs for vehicles matching undefined. That's not going to do. Come on, why didn't anyone tell me something? Let's go. So, what we want to do here is the same concept. Let's just see what's, yeah, browse undefined come on, that's not good enough. So we're going to need to do the same thing here. So we're going to pop that in there. Get rid of that because the space will come from here. And this will be now, instead of manufacturer model, will be manufacturer. So it'll be this guy. What have I done here? Let's just reverse out. So I need all of this. Chuck that in here. And that's just manufacturer. Get rid of that. Now you can see here it just says browse projects. Browse projects. Browse for modified build info and specs for vehicles. Hey, that's the description. That's all right. Where's the title? That's cool. Why is there no title though? That is interesting. Thought we had an OG title down here. There we go. Browse projects. Cool. That's good. Same thing again. Let's grab you, old friend. And then instead of just that sloppy jalopy over there. Cool. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pull out matching. And I'm going to shove it in here. So when it's not there, it says browse for modified build info and specs for vehicles on my 4x4. Got a double space there. Let's get rid of that. Add one there. Browse for modified build info and specs for vehicles on my 4. Yeah, cool, whatever. Doesn't really make sense, but here we go. Browse Ford projects, browse for modified matching Ford. And then browse Ford F-150 project, vehicles matching Ford F-150 on my 4x4, done. That's good. A whole bunch of ESLint nonce. Okay, so the canonical link. Now, what we want to do is actually grab, where's our friend where he redirected us? So we want to grab, where is it? Router. So they're hard coding this. So I guess we can do the same, because it doesn't matter about staging really. It's only production that matters. So we're going to just say, let's just see what router as path looks like. So router, where do you come from? See? Let's see what this looks like. Okay, so let's see if that's maybe it's the default export. I'm just flying by the seat. Here we go. So you can see here, so we've got search and then the manufacturer ID, manufacturer model. So I was just reading, so in this article it says to drop the query params, but we actually need the query params to change the content of the page. So we do need that in there. So in this instance, for this one, we are going to use it. So we're going to say the canonical URL is going to be, it's going to be www.my4x4.info. If I can type that, and then it's going to have the slash included in there. So we're going to have router as path, like that, and we're going to chuck that right in there. That's the one. Thank you, Chief. Boom, boom, boom. Now let's go and chuck this guy. Hey, what happened here? You should only use one next router on your thing. Okay, fair enough, so that must be the instantiation of it. I wonder if we can say as path. Okay, looks like we can pull that out there. So Next just doesn't want us, I guess that default export is actually instantiating it, so we won't do that, so we'll just say as path. I don't know why it's saying, oh, there are no F-150 Raptors obviously on this one, cool. So let's see what we got now. Let's go into elements. Let's go into head. Let's look for the link. Canonical here. HTTPS, boom, search. Wonderful. Now, the fun part of this, I wonder if you can use two of these guys at the same time. The canonical URL. And also, what is default? I wonder what the difference between default SEO, add SEO to a page. This will render on the head for SEO at bare minimum. I wonder if you use the default SEO for the main layout. So let's do that. Let's go into find our layouts, mobile. So what we're going to do is import default SEO, right? I'm going to grab this guy. I'm going to replace the head. The title's just going to become this one. Nothing special. That's just a string. The description is just going to be this guy. So until we have a better description, I'm going to just roll with this one. And this is going to be that. We need the link icon. Does this guy support icon? Additional link tags. So let's chuck that in. Like that. And this is going to be icon. And that is just fab icon. Like that, which means this head can just go away. As path is not defined, yeah, that's fair. So we're going to import use router from next router, and we're going to say const as path is equal to use router. Cool, and it's still keeping all of our stuff there. This should just be Next SEO, I believe, just not save us confusion. Cool, so we still got the browse there, that's good, and we go home here, we got detailed info and specs. Let's see what else we have. Got canonical, yep. So let's just see no matter where we go, I want to make sure that this URL is staying. Oh, my 4x4.info.com, that's not it. That's a bit of a schnock. What's going on here now? Can I find module SAS loader? That's not right. Okay, I just realized I was running NVM 14, it's probably causing a few issues for me. Run dev. Let's see. Cool. Let's see, can we go into this build now? Yep, sure can. So this is a 2023. Let's see what this guy's saying. What do we have in here? So the description's a duplicate. Title's okay. OG title, no. So that's a duplicate as well. So let's just check the canonical URL. That's right. Okay, sweet. So let's do the next one. Just quickly. These are the main pages. So if we get this right, we're off to a good start. So project slug. Yep. So let's bring in our friend. Sweet as. Bring in this guy. Let's put that in here. Okay, so we're trying to do something cool here, which is nice. Don't need this. Actually, don't need the canonical on there either. So you go away. Let me just double check the search page again now that I've removed that. Yeah. Let's just make sure that's all good. Yes, that's always there. That's good. Excellent. So let's see in here. What are we doing? We're doing a bit of work. So we want to look at view detailed specs. So on my 4x4. So this is going to like be view view detailed specs for view default specs and info for, and then this is just the title of the project. So this is going to be project.title. What are you complaining about? Browse manufacturer. That's fair. We don't have that, so let's just comment that out. So inside here, what do we look like? Yeah, that's cool. All right, that's the description. So we don't need this guy anymore. You're nonsense. Now, project title. That's just the title of the page. Does that? I wonder. No, we don't need that. Sorry, just bear with me. So we're looking for this one. And then does this have title? So open graph is like it's got its own little wrapper here. So we're going to do open graph. Yep. That's like that. And then what does it have? Type. So what do we have? We got type. Website. Yep. Title. It's the same as description, images, URL. I wonder if you need to settle this. Let's just do, just going to comment that out and just see what we get. So OG title and OG description are set. OG type. View detailed specs and info. And what was it for? Check out this build and my, yeah, okay, so we do actually want something slightly different here, because this is when you're sharing it with someone. So we want that. Project description, or check out this build on my 4x4. Cool. FB app ID, how are we going to do that one? Anyway, Description, image. So they do images array. Cool. And then that's going to be in like this. Sweet. OG image URL. Do we need to set the width and the height? I'm not going to do that. And then this is going to just be called the alt. It's going to be main image for project title. That's it. So it's a type website. So we've got title. That's it. So we've got title, we've got type, OG URL is this guy. OG URL, type title, image. We got description. Now we just need the FB app ID. Okay. It's very nice little. Cool. And that is just this one. Cool. It's hard coded. Probably not the best. Anyway. Sick. Let's see what this looks like. Okay, OG type, OG description, OG image. Let's pull that in. Let's look at this. Boom. Look at that. That's really cool. Love that. OG image alt, OG title, OG FB, OG URL. That's really cool. All right. So let's see. What do we want to call this? So this is going to be my 4x4. And this is going to be view detail 4. I think that's all right for now. I mean, you know what we can even do is just like literally, it's just my 4x4 project title. That's going to be unique enough. 2023 Ford Raptor. Now, we can go way deeper into this as well. We can also go through the parts and like create a full Raptor R, 2023 Raptor R with white, with Mean Mother, Dobinsons. Like you can literally, we'll do that on another episode because that's going to be quite detailed. I think for now, I'm pretty happy with where we've landed. So it's the main screen and then the index page. We just want the builds to be indexed. We want the search and then all this. So that's what we're going to do for now. So I want to get this up. Let's just double check all this. It's all good. We had Next.js, no follow on those guys. Headings there, H1s. Add the default SEO. Fixed up the SEO on the project slug page. Fixed up SEO on search. Added the get manufacturer model by ID and get manufacturer by ID. It's cool. So it's updated headings to, let's say updated meta data for SEO. Cool, that's good enough. Push that up. I can't wait to run the crawler again. All right, let's pull that in. Create pull request. Merge that in. Cool. All right. So we should be having a new build here. Let's see what we got. Got a build here. And main's queued. That's cool. And then I'm also going to do a PR to merge into production main. So we can just bring this all into production, but I'll let that just sit. Okay, so we've deployed this one to staging, and you can see browse Ford projects, browse for minified build info, modified build info and specs. Just been reading about CSS minification, so that's a problem. Okay, so that looks great, and then I just wanted to double check this guy because we changed him as well. H1, we're in business. So we'll deploy that to production, and away we go. Thanks for watching.